Which side are you on? This is the Daily Dozen, presented by Champions Round.
What is going on? My name is Jason Gold, joined by Trell Jones. We are here with some MLB props for your Friday edition of the Daily Dozen. We are locked and loaded, ready to go. Trell, how you doing this Friday?
Man, I'm feeling amazing, especially after the historical day yesterday. It's rare to go 3-0 on the diamond. I'm feeling great. Let's get into today. I'm feeling good.
We got that Astros lock yesterday for you. That was great. Love to see that one.
Stop riding so high on the Yankees. Let's go.
All right, let's get into some MLB team and player props for July 1st. Again, you have until 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern to enter the Daily Dozen for this slate. Let's rock it. Let's go. Cardinals Phillies total runs 9.5. What are we thinking?
Cardinals Phillies. We've got Miles Mikolas on the mound and some guy named Bailey Falter. I can't say that I've looked into him very much. I've seen him a couple times, but I don't really know much about him. But I know about Miles Mikolas. I know about Mike Mikolas. He is going to keep runs off the board. I remember when he lost his no-hitter on the last hit. I know something about him. I know he's going to keep runs off this board. I don't think the Phillies are going to put up 14 runs like they did yesterday. This line might be a little inflated from yesterday. I don't know. But I want the under 9.5 in this game. Like I said, at the very least, Mikolas is going to keep runs off the board. Falter, I'm not certain on him yet, but I know Mikolas is at least going to help this under, so I'm going to ride the under here.
All right, 54% of the money. No, 54% of the bets, 97% of the money coming in on the under here. Still hasn't moved off this 9.5. Therefore, I have to rock with the under on the total runs, 9.5. I like this little mix that we got. You come at it from the knowledge of the players. I'm looking at the betting angles. We got a full system coming in for all of these bets. All right, let's get to prop number 2. Max Fried, total earned runs allowed, 2.5 for the Braves on the
man. Oh man.
What are you thinking?
A stud. Max Fried is just an absolute stud. He's coming in with just a sub 3 ERA, a high 2 ERA. You know what I'm saying? So Max Fried, he's going against the Reds. The Reds at home have been different animals. I'll give them that, but I don't know that Max Fried's going to let them allow 3 runs off of him. Like, they may get runs off errors. They may, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. But I'm going to go with Max Fried under 2.5 runs allowed. I don't think while he's in the game, the Reds are going to really get their bats like clicking all that well. If they get runs, it's 2 max. So give me Max Fried under 2.5 allowed runs. Let's try it.
Anyone who's watched the show before where we've done a Max Fried prop knows that I went to high school, or I went to the same high school as Max. I've known Max since he was a little kid. And I gotta take the under for my guy. This is my guy, so I'll take the under. Total runs allowed 2.5 on
That's
this
huge.
Yeah, that's my guy. Braves Reds total runs. So we'll talk about this game once again. Over under 9.5 runs in this one. I'm looking at 74% of the bets, 99% of the money coming in on the over here. That means we're getting some sharp money for sure because it's a plus 25, but it's also a lot of public action. And we just took the Fried under. So I think that I'm going to rock with the under total runs 9.5 here. If you take the over, I'd probably do the Braves money line because that means that they're going to be the ones putting up a lot of runs, at least in my opinion.
And I completely agree with you. Braves minus 1.5 is going to be a good play on this game because although Max Fried will allow it to go under, Minor may get quite literally lit up. And we know the Braves, almost every person in that lineup can go yard at any at-bat. Like, the Braves lineup is powerful throughout. No Acuna, no problem. Harris has stepped up in a big way. The over could come in late. I could see, like, you know what I'm saying? I could see they take Fried out and put the bullpen in. The Reds try to come out with an 8th inning rally or try to put some meaningless runs up in the 9th inning when they're already down a ton, and the over just sneaks in through the back door. I think we could see an over here, but I can't touch it though. I think there's potential for it, but I think the under is a little bit of a better play here. The line is really not really telling because you got an ace on the mound on one side, and on the other side, not nowhere near an ace. So
there's a reason the Braves minus 275 at BetMGM right now, and the minus 1.5 is minus 160. You rarely see the minus 1.5 with a big juice in front of it. So they think the Braves are going to absolutely smash tonight.
As bad, yeah, but as bad as these lines are, this is where you would take the Reds plus 1.5.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
The Reds plus 1.5 right now, plus 140 on the board at BetMGM. So interesting to note there. All right, let's get to the
I'm
next
gonna lean
prop.
the under, yeah. Lean the under
All
in that
right.
one.
Brewers, Pirates, total run 7.5. I love the Pirates coming through with that money line victory yesterday. They got a little bit of juice coming back their way today, also plus 172 against the Brewers. But in terms of this total, 7.5 runs, which way are you leaning?
Corbin Burns, Ronisy Contreras. We all know what Corbin Burns can do. We all know who Corbin Burns is. That's just that simple. Contreras is a guy that not too many people know about. I know about him. I bet his strikeout prop a couple times, and he's smacked it. He's a solid pitcher, and he gets his strikeouts when he needs them. And that Pirates offense, as bad as they can be some days with hitting with runners in scoring position, bro, they've got a little bit of power behind them. You've seen Chavis yesterday. You've seen Sawinski yesterday. Brian Reynolds is going to hit doubles and triples and home runs. Like as bad as they seem, they've got some power in that lineup. And we know that the Brewers can legit go off. One inning, they could legit go off. I lean toward the over here. I think Burns could get smacked around a little bit by the Pirates, as crazy as it sounds, and the Pirates could pick up another win here.
So I like the play on the Pirates. I love the play on the over. This line is moved up to 8 in some spots, but if you look at the 7.5, 54% of bets, 71% of the money coming in on the over here. I like the over also. Let's ride with it. And it kind of leans into the next prop here. We have Corbin Burns, total strikeouts 7.5. So if we're going over on the game, we think the Pirates have a chance in this one. Maybe Burns gets shellacked a little bit. We're going to lean the under here?
I lean the under here. I know a couple people that I respect have the over, but I think it's really high against a Pirates team that they love to make contact. They're swinging that bat. You seen it yesterday. I don't really care who was on the mound, but you seen it yesterday. They're swinging the bat, and they're making some contact. You're getting pop-ups, okay. You're getting, hard fly balls. You know what I'm saying? You're getting all that. You're getting ground balls, double plays, things like that. Those all contribute to strikeouts going lower. Double plays are strikeouts' worst enemy. Because so I'm gonna lean under on Corbin Burns' strikeout prop today. I know everyone in the universe is gonna be on the over. Corbin Burns and the Pirates take the over. No, take the under.
I like it too. Let's take the under, ride on the under with Corbin Burns, and maybe we'll sprinkle a little money on the Pirates at plus 170. You can get it done today in Pittsburgh. You like it?
I love it.
All right, let's get on to the next one. Garrett Cole, total hits allowed for the Yankees. We talked about fading the Yankees earlier. They're in Cleveland facing the Guardians. What do you think about this prop?
Boy, do I not like the Yankees. Boy, I do not like the Yankees. The thing about the Guardians, again, they put the bat on the baseball. I don't know how many runs they're going to get off of Garrett Cole, but I know he's going to pitch 6-7 innings, and they're going to get 5 or more hits. It's just going to happen. So I'm going to take the over 4.5 hits allowed. I don't see him just striking out the side every time. I see them getting some hits, shallow outfield. Maybe Stephen Kwan hits one of the shortstop and beats out the throw. J Ram goes yard. You just never know. I'm going to take them over 4.5 hits. Like I said, Garrett Cole can really shove sometimes. He can really suck sometimes. So give me the over 4.5 hits allowed.
I think that I'm going to lean towards the over also, although I am not as confident as you are. I think that Cole could absolutely smash tonight, but
it's possible.
We have one more prop on the Yankees. I think it's the last prop here, so I'll save the rest of the thoughts for them. But I think that I'm going to lean towards the over on total hits, 4.5. It's pretty low, and this is Garrett Cole. I know he's one of the best pitchers in baseball, but 5 hits, if he's going to pitch 7 or 8 innings, not all that much when you look at it.
You mean he's one of the most overpaid pitchers in baseball?
Well, that works too. I mean, if you're making $300 million to pitch a baseball, I think you're probably overpaid, but good for him.
Yeah.
All right. Rangers Mets totals runs 8.5. I love the over in this one. It's already at 9 at BetMGM plus 100. 96% of the money coming in on the over here, despite not that many bets coming in on the over. So I think that I got to take the over 8.5 here.
I would too. What I was going to say here is that you have 2 high-powered offense with 2 mid-tier pitchers. That's normally a recipe for it to sneak over. I'm not saying you're going to crush the over, but it's normally the recipe for it to sneak over. So I'm going to take the over. Chris Bassett, he's a pretty good pitcher. I really liked him with the A's. But he's on the Mets now. He's been okay. Otto started off the season pretty good, but he's regressed a little bit, and I could see the Mets taking out some of their frustrations of the Braves catching up to them on Otto. So
I like it. All right, so we're both on the over total runs 8.5 Rangers versus Mets. Angels,
sure.
Astros, total runs 8.5. I haven't looked at any of the math here, but I think that I'm going to end up being on an under here. But what are you seeing?
Why do you like the under? Oh, you said you haven't looked at any map. You have Javier. He's coming off of pretty much a no-hitter, combined no-hitter, but he's coming off a no-hitter nonetheless. You have Lorenzen. Nobody special. I see Javier in a smash spot, and I just see the Astros being the Astros. I'm leaning toward the over. I'm leaning toward the over here. But I'm still looking at, like, can the Angels get these hits? Can the Angels really put up runs? We all know that their offense is struggling outside of, the two of the best players in the MLB being on it. I lean the over in this game just because I think the public is going to overreact to the no-hitter that Javier tossed, the combined no-hitter that Javier just tossed.
Yeah. Looking at the numbers here, I think I might have been wrong here. So it opened at 9. It went down to 8. Mm-hmm. So that makes me think that, well, obviously some sharps were on the under here. However, 40% of the bets and 96% of the money is on the over here. So plus 56% towards the over. Generally, that means that the sharp action is going to hit towards the over, and this line is probably going to end up closing at 8.5. So I'm a little confused. Usually, if I see that big of a difference, I tend to lean towards that side. So I would take the over at 8, but at 8.5, we're kind of splitting hairs here. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get on this one.
But if it hits 8, will you take the over?
If I can get a bet at 8, I'll take the over.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay. I agree with you.
Yeah, I see that in the market. But for the purposes of Daily Dozen, 8.5, it's gonna have to be a gut call when I submit my picks here in a little bit.
But yeah, for me, if I get it at 8, I'm of course gonna take the over. For Daily Dozen, I'm still gonna have to take the over. If I'm gonna take it at 8 for Daily Dozen, I'm gonna take it over 8.5 on the Daily Dozen. For an actual bet, I'm not gonna place a bet on this total. It's just so sketchy. But for a lean, there we go.
All right. Tony Gonsolin, total outs recorded for the Dodgers against the Padres, 17.5 tonight. So basically, he has to get six innings. It's 5 2/3. And if you look, I set this prop on purpose because if you go back and look at all of his stats, every single time he's pitched in like the last month and a half, it's always 6 on the dot, 6 on the dot, 6 on the dot, 6 on the dot, and then there's like one that's 5 1/3. So we're right here on this number. Do you think he's going to perform well against the Padres tonight? He's been one of the best pitchers in baseball thus far this season.
Yeah, I said it. I tweeted like a little bit ago. I was like, Tony Gonsolin is the best pitcher in baseball because he was ruining a bet. He wouldn't let the other team get any hits, and I bet against the Dodgers. But Tony Gonsolin, he's a stud, but it is the Padres. They can get hot at almost any time, and if they even just get minorly hot, like if they drag him through some innings, drag his pitch count up, I can see them pulling him in the 5th, kind of what they did to White last night. I don't know why White was even pulled. I thought he could have went over 80 pitches, but it is what it is. But for Daily Dozen's sake, I would take the over 17.5 outs recorded just because they're going to want him on the mound as long as possible because they want to win this game. Your best chance to win this game is for this guy to be in.
And like you said, they pulled White yesterday early. That bullpen's going to be a little bit taxed. They didn't have a day off, so they're going to need Gonsolin to probably go 6 innings tonight. So I'm on the over with you. Although I will say, if he gets the over, like the max that he's going to go is 18 outs. That's your only out there. So everything else below, like in general, I would say the way they play this is probably towards the under. However, we both think the Gonsolin is going to go exactly 6, so we're going to take the over by a half here.
You know what's crazy about this? BetMGM will move this line to like 18 or 18.5 and give you plus money. And it's really wild, and people will hop on it so quick.
Hey, if you see that 18.5 out there and then you see somewhere else with a 17.5, middle it, because there's a good chance he lands right on 18.
Yeah, but there's no value in taking the 18 and just getting a push. Just take the 17.5 and lay the juice.
No. What I'm saying is,
take both. Take the under and take the over.
Yeah, take the over 17.5, the under 18.5. Double down on one of those.
You have a very small margin, but the margin is there nonetheless.
But you go back and look. So you're going to hit one of them, obviously. So you got to lay some juice. But then if you hit the middle on it, you're winning both bets. And there's a history. If you go back and look at his game log, they take him 2-6 almost every game and then pull him at 6 every game. I'm just saying there's a little spicy middle there potentially in the betting world. All right, next one up. Your game of the day, White Sox versus Giants, total runs, 7.5 in the Bay Area. What are you thinking?
Boy, one person that I do not like is Lance Lynn on my team. I don't think he's a good pitcher. Nothing about him screams, oh, this is an amazing pitcher to me. On the other side, I don't think that Cobb is a crazy good pitcher. I think that these guys are both mid-level tier pitchers. They'll take the ball. They're like the third or fourth in the rotation type thing, maybe third. I would take the over 7.5 here. I think that there's going to be runs. There's going to be a good amount of them. White Sox, we desperately need wins. Giants can hit the ball. So give me the over 7.5 runs in this game.
28% of the bets, 84% of the money coming in on the over 7.5 here. I am in lockstep with you here. We're definitely taking the over 7.5 in this one. Let's get to Lance Lynn. Total earned runs allowed 3.5. We're taking the over. I assume we're getting the over here. And you also hate Lance Lynn, so we're definitely going to do the over here. The only good thing about Lance Lynn, I'll tell you this, that body type, that is an elite male body pitcher right there. Standing 6'5", 280. That is a big old hoss on the rubber. But total earned runs allowed, I'm going to hit the over 3.5. How about you?
Yeah, he's a big guy and then can we get your velo up then? You got all that strength and power behind you. Let's get this velo up, So yeah, we've got to take the over here. Here's what's gonna happen. Brandon Belt, home run. Mike Yastrzemski, home run. No, I'm kidding. But I think he's gonna go over 3.5 runs allowed.
All right, last prop of the day: Yankees versus Guardians. Going back to that game, total runs 7.5. That line has moved a lot. It is now at 8.5. So we pretty much what we know what we got to do in the market. If it's at 7.5 on Daily Dozen, 8.5 in the market, we're going to smash the over here. Is that what you're locking in with? Yeah,
you really don't have a choice here but to take the over. I mean, I get G. Cole's on the mound. I don't care what anyone says. He's going to give up some runs today. And Cavalli, however you pronounce that name, he's going to give up runs. He's nothing special. And the Yankees should be frustrated and they should be ready to pound the ball because they're struggling to score. They struggled against the A's in the first half of those games. You know what I'm saying? They eventually won, but they struggled against the A's. They can't score against the Astros. We figured that out. So, yeah, they should be frustrated and they should come in this game ready to smash everything.
60% of the bets, 93% of the money coming in on the over, which is what you would expect for the line moving from 7.5 to 8.5. So we're going to give you a free one here. Take the over 7.5. Lock that in on the Yankees and the Guardians. All right, let's get to the close of the show. Any other best bets that you have for baseball today or anything else across sports?
Me personally, I'm still looking at the slate. Follow me on Twitter. I'm going to drop things there. Follow the champions around Twitter. Follow the Instagram because the picks of the day drop on the story there as well. I'm still looking at the slate. I'm leaning. There's an early game. I'm leaning Corey Kluber to shut down the Blue Jays and Barrios to get knocked around by the Rays and for them to get a win. I also lean. There's one total that we didn't discuss: the Marlins and the Nationals. I lean the under. Trevor Rogers isn't a bad pitcher. He should be able to keep the Nationals in check with the Marlins having some of their best hitters not in the game on the IL. Jazz in the IL. Jorge hurt his back last game. And then you have Josiah Gray on the mound for the Nats. I'm thinking I'm going to take the under 9.5 in that game.
So this line started at 10, now at 9.5 at BetMGM. 35% of the bet, 62% of the money coming in on the under here. So you were definitely on the right track there. All right, that does it for Daily Dozen for today. Go join 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern to lock in those picks. We're going to have Daily Dozen slates. We won't have a show until next Tuesday, but we will have slates throughout the weekend. We'll probably do a golf one over the weekend, another baseball one. And then on July 4th, who knows? Maybe I'll get spicy and put out a hot dog eating contest. Daily Dozen. You never know what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's get a little degenerate on July 4th. Nothing more American than that. Until then, good luck with all your bets this weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. See ya.
Peace.